Hey y'all, it is Mel the Scientist and welcome back to another video. I just have one question for you. What if you could taste color? Do you think you know what different colors taste like? Let's see if they answer those questions, because I want to know. I personally think you can, but we'll save that for the end.
So, another crazy thing happened to me recently. It was a Sunday morning, and I fried eggs for breakfast. But something was definitely wrong. I wasn't sure if it was the eggs or me, though. Now, you've tried fried eggs, right? They normally taste like, eggs. But that time, along with the eggs, I could also taste lemon, vanilla yogurt, and even some paper. And it's not as good as you might think.
Okay.
Yogurt tastes nice by itself, but together with eggs, it's gross. Whatever was the reason, I decided I'd be okay with just a tea for that day. But as soon as I tried it, I spat it out. What is that? Did I put a spoonful of black pepper there? I needed some water ASAP. I got a glass and, thankfully, it was just a regular glass of water. I tried to eat some strawberries, but along with the normal strawberry taste, they had a taste of hot chili. That's not a good combination, to be honest. It looked like something happened to all of the food in the house. I also had an orange juice, so I drank a glass of it. Surprisingly, it tasted totally fine. Suddenly, I got a weird thought. Do I taste colors? It was so crazy and strange that I needed to check this theory immediately. I admit I licked the white back of my cell phone, but it really did taste like vanilla yogurt, just like the egg.
Okay, well this is going in a direction I did not think it was going to go in. Okay.
So, it was true. I could taste colors that would mix with every food's original taste and mess it up. I wanted to go to the doctor, but although this new superpower was weird, it was still a bit exciting. Also, I couldn't wait to figure out what other tastes are like. So, I went to a store and got myself a pack of markers. I got to the table, opened the yellow one, and licked it. It did taste like lemon.
Why would you do that?
Why
Why did you do that? Why? This video is not going in the direction I thought it was going to go at all. This dude has pica. This dude has pica for sure.
One and made a list. Pink tasted like strawberry. Red was chili. Orange was an orange. Blue was very bitter. Light blue was salty. And violet was blueberry.
Really? Are you sure it just didn't taste like poison every time you tried it?
Black was black pepper. Beige, nut muss. Gray, paper. And green tasted like puke. Well, I had to conclude I don't eat green food from now on. Not that I was really sick.
You decided that after you tasted all of the colors of the rainbow in marker form, and then decided that.
Bad about it, though. Only one color was left, the brown one. I was very reluctant to try it, but I had to figure it out. Whew. To my relief, it had the taste of coffee. Now, I don't like coffee, but it could be worse. I knew I had to go see my doctor, but I kind of wanted to live with this superpower for a while. It doesn't happen to you every day, So I decided I'll go to the doctor tomorrow. And today, I had to learn how to live with this ability. I had to avoid putting in my mouth anything black, gray, blue, and green. I could make a fruit salad with mango, raspberries, grapes, banana, and yogurt. But that was all I could come up with. As I was thinking, I was biting my lip and found out it tasted like strawberry. In the store, it was pretty easy to find a transparent bowl, but spoons and forks were a problem. I think I went to every store in my city until I could finally find them. As soon as I got back home, I cut all the fruits and made a fruit salad. I hadn't eaten much that morning, as you remember. Honestly, it was the best salad ever. As I was enjoying my meal, the phone rang. It was my grandma, and she invited me for dinner that evening. I tried to say I couldn't make it, but she wouldn't listen. Grandmas. It's just impossible to skip when they want to feed you. So she said she didn't want to hear any excuses and that I had to be at her house by 6. This meant I couldn't wait until tomorrow. I had to go to the doctor right then and get rid of this superpower before my grandma made me eat puke and drink tea with black pepper. I got to the clinic just 5 minutes before it closed for the day and asked if my doctor could see me because I had an emergency. To my relief, he agreed. When I told him that I could taste colors, he looked at me puzzled and probably thought it was a stupid prank. Then I told him the whole story about the fried egg for breakfast and how I bought and tasted all the markers, that violet was
you
blueberry
told him
and
that?
green was not an apple as he might have thought. That I spent hours trying to find a transparent spoon and fork. To be honest, in my head it sounded better and was making much more sense. The doctor was silent and kind of suspicious. He measured my
I'd be
temperature,
silent
my
too.
blood pressure, and looked at my mouth.
I would do that too. I'd be like, bitch, what is wrong with you? I'd be like, I would take all the tests I needed to take.
So, you've been eating markers, he smiled. Oops, I guess my tongue was the color of a rainbow.
Right, you let
Well,
that
that
slip.
really doesn't sound normal for a grown-up. The doctor obviously didn't believe me, so he just let me go, recommending a good night's sleep. So,
he said your ass is crazy.
guess I was stuck with it, and I had to go to Grandma's. Unfortunately, there was no way she'd feed me strawberry yogurt for dinner. I got home to get my new cutlery, so at least I didn't have to taste paper when eating with my grandma's gray metal fork. I had another couple of hours, so I did some Googling, but still couldn't find any solution or even research on my condition. I thought that maybe I could wash it off, so I drank a gallon of water. But it didn't help, so I went to Grandma's place feeling doomed. Plus, I really needed to go. She was happy to see me and announced that she had my favorite broccoli pancakes for me. Yeah, maybe yesterday they had been my favorite, but definitely not anymore. I tried to say
broccoli
I'm not
pancakes.
hungry and I could just drink some orange juice, but of course, she wouldn't listen. She gave me a plate with 5 pancakes and a cup of black tea. Suddenly, I got an idea of how I could get rid of at least the pepper taste. If I put a piece of lemon in the tea, I'll get brown. Therefore, I'll have a coffee tea instead of a pepper tea. I was lucky. My grandma did have the lemon, so the tea problem was solved. But the worst part was the pancakes, and my grandma was looking at me all excited and pleased. I had to eat. I was trying hard to
right in front
control
of
my
your
facial
face.
expression and look very happy, as if I was eating the best food on the planet, even though it was the most terrible meal in my life. And yes, I was drinking a lot of my coffee tea. Well, 3 cups. But when I finished and thanked my grandma, she was so happy that I understood eating puke was worth it. Turned out my grandma actually had a vanilla yogurt, so I ate all she had to get rid of the taste I still had in my mouth after the pancakes. On my way home, biting my strawberry lip, I was thinking, I had to come up with a plan on how to get rid of this ability, but I couldn't think of anything. So as soon as I got home, I just went to sleep, even though it was only 9 p.m. I slept for 11 hours, and the next
Goddamn.
morning, I made myself a fruit salad with yogurt. Again. I guess from then on, it was my dish for the rest of my life. I was eating it
That
with my
sucks.
transparent fork and watching a TV show, when I suddenly realized I couldn't taste any lemon there, and no orange as well. I bit my lip, and it didn't have a taste anymore. With my hand shaking, I opened the fridge to get my strawberries. I ate one, and it tasted like a regular normal strawberry. No chili pepper. Everything was back to normal like it never happened. But I swear it did. Really?
I have no idea what just happened. I didn't think this was going to be a narrative. I thought this was going to be like an explanation, like what do people normally associate with different okay, condition where you can taste color. Synesthesia is a phenomenon that causes sensory crossovers such as tasting colors or feeling sounds. Some people describe it as having wires crossed in their brain because it activates 2 or more senses when there's only a reason for one sense to activate. Perform better on certain tests of memory and intelligence. Not mentally ill. You definitely are mentally ill for licking highlighters though. You need to see someone about that. Absolutely. Why am I tasting colors? Imagine being able to taste color or smell sound. This may sound bizarre, but it's actually very real for some people. Synesthesia happens when any 2 of our senses cross over. Okay. So it's just a crossing over of senses, wires cross temporarily. Or maybe not temporarily. I mean, I was going to say that it kind of more has to do with our, I mean, even that's a legitimate condition, but for me, I always felt like it was more our perception of what we associate with taste. So he's associating these tastes with these different fruits or experiences. Like coffee is usually brown, so he's tasting coffee all the time with something brown. Like he's getting orange with like orange juice or anything orange related. Like there's not really anything too hard to conceive about that, but like tasting that in literally everything, that may be a little bit weird. I don't know if it's temporary or if it lasts for a significant period of time, but I've always thought it made sense psychologically and how we perceive taste. I mean, we also perceive taste whether it's in our genetic, whether it's in our genes or not. We perceive taste differently. So I actually this summer I was able to test my DNA against this molecule called PTC, and PTC is associated with a bitter taste receptor called TAS2R38, and that is what is usually a test for our ability to taste bitterness in general. I found out that I am a strong taster in a spectrum of strong, weak, and no tasting. And I can go into what that means, but it's too much time. I found out that I was a strong taster, but when I tasted PTC on a test strip, I didn't really taste anything. I didn't think it was that bad. So I considered myself a weak taster because of my phenotype. But my genotype was actually strong taster. So our perception of taste is based off of our experiences, our environment, where we are. All of that has an effect on how our bodies perceive the world. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great time. This video was nuts. I don't care. Even though I've given my own scientific explanation for it, like this dude is wacky for tasting highlighters. I'm a scientist, but I would never do that. Like, why would you poison yourself like that? I don't know. Whatever. Thank you so much. Help me get to 2,000 subscribers. That would be really cool, unless I've already made it, which in this case, yay! And I will see you in the next video. Peace.